Hello, literature lovers. Today I want to discuss Madame Bovary, and it's a very special French novel, and it's a debut novel, in fact, by the French writer Gustave Flaubert. It was published in 1856, and the eponymous character here is something that lives beyond her means in order to escape the banalities and emptiness of the provincial life. It is originally in French language, and the genre is here. It's a realistic novel, and it was first serialized in between 1st October 1851 to 15 December. And it's filled with obscenity. That is one of the character of this work, although it was a bestseller in April 1857. It is published in two volumes, and it was really praised all over the world. And talking about how it starts, this novel starts with provincial northern France. That's the setting. And the characters are there, and all the characters, location here have different traits of its own. And so that's the summary which will begin and talk about it. And the characters are being Amy Bovary, Charles Bovary, and different other characters, and who are really talk of a town. The whole book has a peculiar setting, and since it is quite realistic, and the protagonist Emma has a peculiar quality, the movie based on it is also quite special, and I'm sure you will like it. It talks about the period of Louis Philippe I, and the period and where the Paris is the main setting, and realistic realism was the literary movement which was there, talking about its peculiar style, and it is one of a kind, and there are realism throughout the work. I'm sure you will be aware of this work since it is too much famous. It is called one of the perfect works in of fiction. In fact, the great novelist Henry James wrote that it has a perfection that not only stamps it but that it makes stand almost alone. It holds itself with such a supreme, unapproachable assurance as both excites and defies judgment. Another very important author, Vladimir Nabokov, said about it that stylistically it is prose doing what poetry is supposed to do. So you can see how different authors have praised it. According to Milan Kundera, who talks about the novel, and according to him, this work did prose lose the stigma of aesthetic inferiority. So many critics talk about this work, and Julian Barnes in fact called it the best novel that ever been written. So you can see how it was being used. Talking about some of the adaptations, since it is so famous, it was adopted in many movies. Unholy Love 1932, 1934 Madame Bovary, 1937 Madame Bovary, 1949, 1964, then the BBC TV series 1969, 75, Save and Protect 1989, Madame Bovary 91. In fact, a Hindi movie was also based on it, and in which Shah Rukh Khan played the role of that male character, and the name of that Indian movie is Maya Mem Saab. So you can see, and the latest one we can call it Madam Bovary 2014 one, and you can see it is still being adapted. Another movie 1970s Ran's Daughter was also based on it. So you can see there are although other adaptations of this work also there, that is different other adaptations of this work in the opera world. Talking about the author Gusteau, and since he is so great, and in fact the main peculiarity is that it was his debut novel. Can you imagine, in his debut novel he created such a great masterpiece, and how he surpassed his excellence through this work. And I'm sure this is my personal favorite and you will also like it in all the context. It really marked its importance. The legacy of the work, it was praised throughout the world, and all the romantic aspects are also there. Writers such as Kafka and James Coetzee also discussed his works, and it was praised in a wider context. Many philosophers talk about it in different works. French works have their peculiarities, and we can see how this work, talking about its publication, it was done by Renaud de Paris, and since it contains 2 volumes, and you can feel how this work talk about it. These are the characters being discussed here: Charles, Madame Bovary, and all of them. All of it is really important, both of them. Just in these are the notable quotations marking the excellence of the work. I know I am discussing it quite in detail, but it is so famous, it is important to discuss it in detail. That's all I want to say today. I'm sure get a look and you will definitely like it. Thank you.